Hello again, welcome back to another daily Binding of Isaac Repentance. It's May 19th. The last two videos I had were May 18th, yesterday, and I found out that my microphone was not plugged in. Like, I got everything on, except I didn't plug in the USB to whatever, USB Type-C plug-in, whatever. Yeah, so that's why you can probably tell that the last couple of videos I didn't have any commentary. So yeah, I'm still going to upload that pretty soon. So I just kind of fill you in the details for yesterday and stuff. All right, so it's the daily today. So yesterday's daily, I was talking about been having internet issues the last couple of days. And as a result of that, I had to connect my phone like a tether network to my computer in order to connect to Steam in order to do a Steam daily thing. And then I talked about like breaking down, trying many different ways to see if I can fix the problem and stuff. And like I tried plugging directly to the line in the wall to my computer, tried that to my Xbox, tried different wires, tried the router, everything, backtracked with the, I rolled back the updates on my router, put some old one in, and then tried updating it, tried changing some DNS filtering settings, just a bunch of stuff, and none of it was working. So then I called in maintenance yesterday, where they're going to schedule something for someone to come by today, which they did. And come to find out, somebody flipped the switch and turned my internet off, because the building has got like multiple units. And so probably what happened was people were probably just getting ready to move out and stuff like that, and they were just kind of discontinuing their services. And so they probably accidentally flipped my switch instead of like somebody else's, which is not a big deal. It didn't cost me anything, because it would have been $75 if it was on my end, which it wasn't. That's why I had to make darn sure not to mess up. So that was kind of basically the gist of that. And then I also discussed about like a little bit of the Halo show coming out for tomorrow, which would be today, which today is the last episode, and which I seen and stuff. And then what else? Just kind of talked about some gaming stuff, I guess, just gaming related, whatever. Just tidbits of stuff I was reading about and reminiscing about different things. And then what else I was talking about? Oh, and that one run I had for the daily with the Lost, I decided to pick up the TM trainer, and I was like thinking to myself, like at first off, I'm like, okay, should I even pick this up or something? And then I just went around and just changed my mind. It's like, okay, let's do this. Which part of me thinks that like being the Lost and having that was just like one of the worst things. And I was sitting on that Dupopia thing too for a while. Like it was a mess. It was a mess for sure. I wanted to play around because I was thinking to myself, hey, if this isn't a daily, maybe it won't be so bad in the daily. Like maybe there's an intention to have it for a reason or something. But no, if you're playing as the Lost and you got TM Trainer or something like that, like even with the 9 lives, that didn't help me. Because I kept getting hit, was what was happening. Nothing was triggering it. It was just, I kept getting hit. I guess the longer I'm in the room, the more likelihood I get hit, and then eventually it hits me twice and it keeps killing me. And that's where I was at. So it's this infinite death loop. I tried different ways to like try to see if I could find a way to just stop it, and there was no way. I screwed it up. And that's how I lost the run. And the run yesterday, my regular run for Eden, I can't remember all what happened there. I forgot what happened in that run already. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the gist. I don't think you're really missing much with my commentary the last couple of days. But I had to make sure to be having this microphone turned on and actually working, which it is now, thank goodness. It's happened before many months ago. Forgot to plug in the mic and making sure it was on. I guess I was kind of tired yesterday and I was just kind of in a rush to trying to get it done and stuff, so. Anyways, back to the Halo show thing. Well, I had more action, I'll say that. I'm going to spoil it, by the way, so just kind of spoiler warnings and stuff. So here we go. So, episode 9 of the Halo show, Master Chief gets taken over completely by Cortana, which for some reason she's not talking either. Maybe she doesn't want to blow her cover because she got full control, or just can't use the vocal cords. I don't know what the deal is. And so, got full control of John, and John I don't think is dead. I think he's just in stasis or knocked out or something like that, and somehow they're going to bring him back out of it. Or maybe that's going to be his whole character now. It's just Cortana. Had a whole Covenant fight, and that Covenant woman gets killed by Kai. Good riddance. So it turns out the Covenant was using Kai as a... not Kai, but using... What's her name? As a way to find the location of the Halo rings, and once that was done, they're going to kill her. So it's like, okay, that makes it a little bit more redeemable because they hate humans so much that they don't want anything to do with humanity. So that probably would make sense. They would use her in order to, you know, chart whatever to get to the ring for the Great Journey stuff. Which they did have to rely on humans to, like, press buttons and stuff in the Halo game series in order to access this and that with the Forerunner stuff. So that, I guess that there's a little bit of redeeming quality and stuff, but like, finally Covenant fighting action, but it was all like kind of weird looking too, so. So just a bunch of different things going on. There's no, what's her name? The girl from Mortugal or whatever. Mortugal? Moragal? Marakai? I don't know. Marakai? No. I don't know. Maybe I just can't get the planet name right because I just so forgetful. Not forgetful. It's like so like. So like hard to remember, I guess. Like not even worth memorizing actually at all. It's an not an unforgettable name, unforgettable name, like the opposite. It's forgettable because no one cares. And so season 2, I assume either comes out later this year or next year, because I think, well, no, it'll probably be another year or two. Because I think they just announced it. So they're currently in production, filming, so it's probably going to be a bit. So yeah, I mean, I watched all 9 episodes. And overall, it's just whatever. Like, it's just all over the place. Like, it was just mostly just a bunch of, like, drama stuff. And then hardly any action. There's some, but like, eh. And I get it, it's not canon and all that stuff. I'm just saying, like, I know. I know, I've played the games. I never read the books, but I've played the games. I have some understanding of the lore. with the games and little tidbits I read online from the books or whatever. Like, I want to see the keys maneuver thing. They can pull it off. Nothing craptacular looking. I guess we'll go fight the boss here. I mean, that's if they're able to pull it off successfully, because it looks so, like, weird looking, the graphics. Like, the fight scenes in the last one, and part of the first one, too, kind of reminded me of Doom, the movie Doom. Like, you get that kind of, like, internal HUD display stuff going on, and the fighting, you know, point of view animation and stuff like that, and also, like, the third person animation, like, fairly reminiscent to Doom. The Doom movie. And the graphics, for some reason, is not that great. Speed up. Heck yeah, brother. I'm going to mention, too, for season 9, season 1, episode 9, spoilers again here, so Atriox makes a return. Yep. It looked like Atriox, because I first, when I watched this, like, it looks kind of like Atriox. Like, didn't look like the other brutes. And I guess from the leak with the script, and I guess there was like some kind of like after credits thing where if you put on the whatever subtitles or something like that, it says Atriox is the name of whatever's giving some kind of like noise or speech or whatever within the whatever. It's like, okay, so like it shows you the origin points of Atriox there. Which is like, which is funny because it comes out far before you even see any Arbiter, and there's no Arbiter yet, so. Yeah. I would think that you could squeeze the Arbiter in there, considering that he was helping with a lot of the fleet stuff and whatever else. It was working for the Prophets, but apparently not, I guess. Unless he's off doing something else, or he's not going to be included like they do in the a lot of the other Halo games. There he goes. There he goes again. Because I don't know. I think he only made an appearance in Halo 5, didn't he? For like a short bit. Whatever. And then he just up and vanished. Like in Halo 4, he just gone. And oh, you get back in Halo 5. Oh, he's nowhere to be seen evident right now. I say right now because there could be some campaign DLC or something, but I doubt we get any customization for like Covenant stuff for Infinite. No. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, something could happen where it's like changes everything. Because they did fix Master Chief Collection after like over a decade of being broken, mostly. So maybe they'll give me something that's gonna be interesting. I haven't really touched Infinite in a while either, so. Like, not since I got the Battle Pass for Season 2, and I played some games, but that was like about a week or two ago. So. Like, yeah, I mean, I do like the new, like, Spartan whatever fight thing, where you're, like, going after each of the Spartans, you got so many lives kind of thing. I got pretty good at it. My second time around, second or third game. I guess they had more maps and stuff that came out recently for those for that game type. Larger maps. So that's cool, I guess. But they got the new Stranger Things coming out this Friday, though. How about them apples, huh? I totally forgot I got that, that one thing. Greed sack. Cart battery could be good if we could find a space bar that can help us. Now, I was trying to say in the last video or two or something like that, before my microphone wasn't really actually plugged in and stuff. It's like, how do I feel about the season? Well, now that I've watched all the episodes, I could say it's like not worth watching again. I'll say that. So one of those things that just like one and done and be like, okay, I could just say for certain to be like, someone's like, hey, I watched the Halo show, and that was it. Just to say, oh, I watched it. Cool, you watched it. I can't really compare it to any show that I've seen before that was about this level of whatever, you know what I mean? Because I try to avoid that kind of stuff. 1 second, I got an itch. I try to avoid that kind of stuff where it's just like, I don't want garbage. I mean, I guess the Nightfall thing was kind of whatever. I guess, I mean, probably a little better quality maybe, but the Halo Nightfall thing when they're on the asteroid or whatever. From far as I can recall, there's no chief in it. Unless there's like in the last couple episodes that I didn't watch, but yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. Forward Unto Dawn was okay. Kind of okay. I mean, it was alright. It's better than the Halo show, that's for sure, but it's kind of okay. Now, I never seen the Fall of Reach, like, animated thing. I can't really tell you for certain that. I'm not really into the anime stuff for the Halo thing either. I tried watching it. I just can't stomach it. I just can't. It's so weird to be put in that as an anime. I'm just saying. I'm already used to, Pokemon and everything when I was growing up and whatever else, and Yu-Gi-Oh! But then it's just like, Halo was just like, just a whatever show. Not a show, but like whatever game. And it's like, hey, let's make it anime. I don't know if it did so well. I mean, if it did so well, it would be more seasons and stuff like that, but no. Well, that's probably not true. I think about it. Because, like, just because it's so good that it can have more seasons doesn't mean that's going to be the case. Like, they already ended Breaking Bad years ago, and there's a reason why. Because, like, you don't want to stretch a show too long, because it loses quality over time. And whatever else attached to making a show. So I think it just kind of very well depends on circumstances with that. I remembered with the Halo stuff, like, before Halo 5 came out, there was this little audio campaign thing that was going on. I listened to all of them. It's like, wow, talk about, Chief going AWOL, and there's like the secret going on, and all this other stuff, and blah blah blah. You know, there's gonna be something crazy going on because Chief did something at some capital like meeting thing or whatever. Something was going on, and someone was trying to frame him and stuff, like just weird stuff. And that sounded like some, like, you know, Blackwater stuff or something, like it's just some dark, sinister crap. And then what we got instead was like just some generic, not generic, some weird hodgepodge Halo game that had very little of Chief in it that you can play as. And very similar routine, like, battles. I mean, it's just like with the whole campaign, too, with, like, showing up, it'd be like, oh, it's Locke versus Master Chief, because Master Chief's going rogue, and, you know, it's either he dies or the other one dies, da-da-da, and it was just not even close to that, no. Like, why even build something like that up with your marketing and be like, oh, yeah, like, there's nothing close to that. You know, same thing with this audio quest hunting podcast thing. Like, no, there's nothing really alluding to that too much. I mean, it's just whatever person or whatever that was the main star that was investigating everything and whatever else, you know, he gets killed. Spoilers. If I recall, he gets killed. I think he does. And he just... And then that's it. There was basically a pointless side story that had nothing to do with what's going to lead up to Halo 5. Nothing. It's like, oh, look at that little tidbit we're not going to add in the game about him, you know, assassinating whoever, or not assassinating, but like crashing and killing these council people. But it's actually like something else that was going on and whatever else. No, none of that. Just... And that's just like, I just don't know, like, you know, stories change all the time too, perhaps, but like, it's like, if you're gonna do like marketing stuff or something like that, you better make darn sure to like actually have a story tied to it that's very similar to it. You know what I mean? Like the whole Belief ad for Halo 3, for example. The whole series of ads talking about Chief this and that. Well, that is relevant because of the whole like finish the fight thing, and you know, he's got to do this and that. People are starting to, you know, get killed off or whatever else. These important characters, and there's this huge battle on Earth. Like, it's all tied to that, interconnected. And this whole thing with this Halo 5 and this Locke thing, it's just like not. Yeah, they get in a fight. That's like the only like relevancy between the ads and like the game. But it's not the big old fight to the death or anything. Just like a little scuffle and then nobody dies. Now in Halo Infinite, supposedly like one of the elites or brutes or something like that has like the helmet of Locke's on as a shoulder piece or something, which I'm hoping he's dead. That character was just whatever. A twerp. So it'll be like Master Chief's like arch nemesis, you know, in quotation marks, you know. Of course, the whole storyline with Infinite, it's like it left so much stuff out from like what happened with Halo 5. It's like, okay, well, what's this deal with Halsey meeting with the Arbiter? You know, what was their plans? And then like meeting with the Chief too, and then it's like completely fast forward far in the future where they're on the ship. I get it, it leaves the mystery and stuff, right? But then at the same time, I think it's like honestly like the development of the game was just cutting too much corners. And they didn't have much of a storyline. They had to scrap the entire storyline, whatever they had originally. When I was reading, like, yeah, so I don't think it was intentional to be like, oh, let's leave a lot of stuff up in the air and you don't know what's going to happen until you see maybe the DLC or something. Now, granted, you can make the argument about, like, say, Elden Ring, where it's like, you know, it doesn't explain a whole lot of things unless you read through the lore details, but even that, you don't get as much, like, whatever. But I think they had, like, a history, I guess, with their Souls games, in which the storyline isn't as clear, with clearing, like, a bunch of different lore-related things up. So, and now, keep in mind, I'm not an expert with, like, FromSoft games. I'm just reading feedback on that, like, I mean, yeah, I'll admit I was a little out of the loop for a lot of stuff. I think a lot of people are too. I'm not gonna go and look at lore videos and be like, oh yeah, so this is what happened with the shattering. It's kind of like with Destiny 1. There wasn't really much of explanation of anything. There was a lot of theories too. It's usually like people trying to like explain things that they found within the game files or the lore cards they're starting to publish online, stuff like that. And what else? Got all that kind of going on, right? And then it's like, yeah, Destiny 1 is a good example because it didn't have much to fill. Like they used to talk about, I remember back then, I was like thinking that the speaker at the tower is part of the darkness or whatever the enemy faction was called. And of course, you find out later on in Destiny 2, he gets killed, like in the beginning. And it's like, oh, well, that threw that theory out of the window. I mean, the theories were pretty reasonable. Until when the game came out, and then it's like, the second game came out and be like, oh, he's dead. Unless, like, maybe he was working for them and then they betrayed him. Ooh, have you thought about that one? I think the speaker was just some edgy guy that was there. Probably wanted to mess with the darkness, but he didn't, and then he dies from the darkness. Which, by the way, I was actually looking into more about this. Destiny 2 had a release, I guess, last year of the Vault of Glass, like a revision of it. For Destiny 2. I'm like, what? Because like I getting these recommended ads about the Vex Mythic class. I'm like, what the hell? You brought back the Vex? And I guess it's pretty hard as heck to even get for some reason. And apparently it's like really good or something. That's why people have been hunting it up. And I'm like, huh. So the Vex Mythic class is good again? And there's Atheon and everything else. They did slight changes with the mechanics, I guess, which is fine. I think if I were to go back to Destiny 2, that'd probably be the easiest raid I can get back into and be like, yeah, I went to Atheon a few times when I was playing in Destiny 1. Yeah, I tossed a fireball at Atheon's feet and knocked him down a couple of times with the cheese. All right. I thought this thing would work for giving me keys and stuff. Like, I mean, don't have to use keys to unlock that chest. Apparently not. Okay. Now, I think in Destiny 2, I think they got a little better with the lore stuff. I think. I mean, with Isaac, like, you get some lore, right? And you get some items, and then you got some theories, and then you also like get information from Ed McMillan, an occasional tweet or something. Kind of like with J.K. Rowling. You get these little like whatevers, little tidbits. It's like, yeah, did you know Dumbledore is this and that and whatever? Of course, at the same time, it's just kind of fit in this like trendy, you know, politicalness kind of stuff, which is just no. I think J.K. Rowling's trying to find herself to be very relevant. She's trying to write other books too, but it's not as popular as the Harry Potter series, and Harry Potter's kind of waiting off because, you know, there's no more movies and whatever else. Except for this game coming up, which, I mean, it looks good, but I'm going to have to wait and see what happens. I've seen games to where I was thinking about getting, but then I changed my mind for just other kind of reasons, and then dodged the bullet like almost every time. You know, like Fallout 76 and Cyberpunk, for example, like those two. Like I thought about getting those, but then I'm like, nah. I think I was playing other games or something. I don't know what the deal was. I think I decided not to get it because I almost got like some special edition of what is it? Special edition of what am I blanking on the name? Of a Fallout 76. Because the helmet? Was that right? The helmet? Which turns out with the helmet, there was like it was like flimsy or something like that. Was it the helmet? It's like all flimsy and it was like cheaply made and it wasn't that great and all this other stuff. And there was like some other weird things going on. I'm like, my God, I like dodged the bullet, not getting that. Just a bunch of stuff was going on. I'm like, man, the whole game and stuff, like it looked good. Like, that's what was impressing me was the whole, like, you know, space. It was like a very big space. That's what kind of drew me in. How interesting it was. And it had sort of little things that looked pretty good. That's what kind of drew me in for. But then I seen, like, how all that fell apart. And I'm like, Jesus. Now, I know, with, getting the, what's that game? Elden Ring, I was mostly going in there blind, honestly. Like, the trailer looked good, because I watched the first trailer early, the first trailer. And I heard about it, and someone recommended it to me before it came out. I'm like, okay, fine. So I was kind of going in the dark, mostly. I didn't look up, like, these other videos that were coming out, these other new trailers and whatever else. I just went in there mostly blind. Until I had to look for guides and see what I have to do. And I know it was going to be a Souls kind of game, and I'm like, oh boy. Oh yes, one of those games where it makes it one of the hardest kind of games to play. And it wasn't too bad, this one wasn't. Probably because it had, like, open world and everything. And I can level up easier. And they fixed some things, I guess. Now, granted, I was level 160 by the time I got to the final boss, right? And to be fair, I was exploring the entire map, collecting stuff. That's exactly what I was trying to do. Long before I wanted to complete the game, because I didn't know how that was going to work until I looked more into it. So, yes, I was theoretically over-leveled. So, you could say, like, oh, you're over-leveled, you didn't struggle as much. That's true. Also, I didn't do magic. Like, I did magic a little bit at first, but then, like, I wasn't high enough level to be, like, doing this Comet of Zero, whatever it's called, with this infinite, like, potion stuff and, you know, blasting whatever with one shot kind of thing. I mean, you could just play it however you want, but I didn't choose a magician class, and that was before like the whole beefing up the strength builds and dex builds. Actually, maybe they did strengthen the dex builds when I was completing it, maybe? I definitely know the strength one wasn't completed. It's another one, Judas Priest. Yummy. So... yeah, I guess you could say I was technically overpowered. And then it got progressively harder each time I redid it. So, karma. But yeah, I had fun. I had a lot of fun. It was frustrating fun. Keep losing my runes and stuff like that too. DLC is going to be very interesting in that game. That's for sure. I'm going to have so much fun with it when it comes out. Probably next year, maybe. Maybe they'll announce something later in the fall, and then they'll come out like spring of next year or something, maybe. Unless they're working on something right now and it comes out in the fall, which that'd be even better. All right. I was watching this Sam Hyde video, I guess that came out like a week ago. It's like the three... was it the three... let's see... the 3 B words of business or something like that. It was pretty good. I don't really watch a lot of Sam Hyde stuff, but he's been doing his own kind of thing for like online comedy stuff. I've seen his TED Talk like video thing. I assume that was like a real TikTok, a real TED Talk that he just kind of like did whatever and talked about whatever, like just randomly. I don't know if it was a skit or if it was like a skit in like seriousness. like the business one, he keeps slapping the table after the woman was like talking about like having issues with like loud sounds and everything else because like something traumatic happened to her in the past, and she keeps slamming the table and scaring the crap out of her. Then she finally snaps after a while and then tell him to leave. It kind of reminded me of something like Office Space, sort of. Like this Office kind of thing. Like a modern Office Space or whatever. Only a little bit more silly. All right, we're doing very well here, by the way. So many 10 rocks. Oh, so many. So many soul hearts, I don't even know what to do with them. I think this Friday or next Friday, Maverick comes out, so that might be interesting to see. Like in theaters. I don't know about streaming. I don't think they're doing any more streaming, you know, big blockbuster movies online anymore with now that COVID's been lifted. That's where a lot of the money comes from, is like the theaters, box office and stuff. You lose a lot of money if you're you don't have that kind of access. Those kind of things, because like not everyone's gonna pay like $35 to like own, or I think even stream. I think there's like some cases like streaming too. Well, no, well, let's see. No, you have to buy it. There's like no streaming option, I don't think, for some platforms. Like Disney, they had something where it's like, you have to have a subscription to Disney Plus, and then you have to pay for the movie. And I don't think you could rent it. And that cost kind of a pretty penny. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I don't have Disney Plus, but like, even if I had Disney Plus, it'd be like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, let me just grab my wallet out and pay $35 for a digital version of the film that I may or may not like. Because I had never seen it before. That's like worth more than the freaking movie ticket. That's like 3 movie tickets or more. 3.5 movie tickets. Depending where you're from, I guess. I think they might have did some streaming later on, though. After maybe not getting as many people. I think they might have did that later on. Because they wasn't getting many sales off of that, I don't think. So they try some different things. Because I think I did see something like now streaming or whatever. Certain like movies. Ah! Highest butt to full. I don't know if the battery just like does double the damage with this thing, or what the deal is, or lasts longer. Feels like it's about the same, so I don't know. Maybe double damage. Maybe nothing at all. Okay. The last time I seen a Disney film was Rogue One, I think. And that was like at home during COVID. You know, 2 years ago, the whole COVID lockdown stuff. It's like, might as well. I heard it's decent. It was okay, I guess, but I mean, it beats the other Disney War movies, I guess, but and then before that was like pre-COVID, and that was Frozen 2. I know, like, I don't know why I went to see it with someone. I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm not like a big fan or anything. It's just, cause I already seen the first one. It was just whatever. It's a kid's thing. Like, I don't even know the last time. Well, besides the Sonic movie, I guess. But like, I don't know. I don't remember the last time before that. Like, I seen a kid's film. Pirates of the Caribbean was technically not a kid's film. there's that. Transformers definitely wasn't. Oh, I guess Transformers 1986 re-showing. I guess there's that, technically. Talk about like a new film, though. So, man. I have to think back. Because there's Pokemon the year 2000 movie. Right? So there's that. And there's, you know, first movie, which was like before that. And of course, you know, the Ninja Turtles was... I don't know if I've seen that in theaters. Lion King was definitely in 94, so like, that's way before that stuff. And then, well, The Mummy was technically before that, and also that wasn't a kid's film either. Or Sleepy Hollow. I mean, I imagine I might have seen some kind of a kid's film. Like after 2000, maybe. But before, like, Sonic and whatever. Yeah, I can't really think of any now I think about, like, anything before that. Oh, wait, no, there's Dinosaur. Actually, no, that came out in 99, didn't it? Aragog, or whatever it's called. The Dragon movie. That was technically a kid's one, wasn't it? So that might have been that. Well, Harry Potter. No, actually, you know what? Harry Potter. It would be Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2. I guess you could technically say that's an adult film, but that's PG-13. So that's could be technically a kid's film because it's a kid's series movies. So now I think about it, before Sonic, before Frozen 2, there was that. There was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. They've seen Part 1 and Part 2 in theaters, like separately, of course, but... So no, I don't really watch, like, too many kid films or anything these days. I watched The Green Knight, now I think about it. Oh, it's not a kid's film, obviously, but The Green Knight, which was like this King Arthur thing or whatever, story thing. I mean, it was okay. Obviously, there's a lot of heavy symbolism stuff that I would have to watch it a number of times to kind of get. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't like Uncut Gems kind of good, you know? Uncut Gems was its own special kind of good. I know some people don't like it, but, you know, it's got a special place in my heart. Probably won't be watching it anytime soon again, but, like, it's... Yeah, it's fast-paced. Yeah, it's stress-inducing for some people to watch, but like it's made that for a reason. People I watched it with, like, they were expecting all these different outcomes constantly, and it was like actually something else going on, and then like just right, something was gonna happen right in the end. It's gonna be like changing everything for the good. It didn't. So. They're so frustrated with it. One of them was like pissed off. It's like, if you ever recommend me a film like that again, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Oh, wow. They watched it. Magic Mush, hello. This like random article too. It's like, here are like 8 or 10 things, or how many things it was, why, you know, this kid show is actually for adults. There's like Bluey or whatever it's called, for adults. I don't know about that. I mean, as for all ages, you can argue it, yeah. But I think the main demographic they're kind of aiming towards is children. You know, funny cartoon dogs or whatever. I assume they talk. I think they would. Something like that. Sounds like that's something they would do. Bluey. Like, it's a blue dog. Not what's his name? Blue. You know, from Blue's Clues. It's not that. I guess they brought it back or something. I'm like, oh. Just make new stuff. They'll like try to bring something back and, you know, bastardize it. You know what I mean? Like this Halo thing. It's like, you know, it's got that kind of thing where it's like, hey, it's just destroyed till it's gone. We're not gone, but you're just not helping matters any. I don't know. It's your franchise, I guess. So just do what you want to do. The point is, like, you know, there's just too many revisions in Hollywood with things. There's too many, like, adding too many sequels to things, remaking things of the same kind of IP. You know, like not too many fresh things, or taking so many elements from other films. It's not even fresh. I think it's just running out of ideas. That's what's happening. Now, tactically, the superhero stuff you can get away with because that's, you know, you know, it stretches on with comic books. You can have them fight with other super villains, superheroes, super whatevers. So I guess I can tactically see that, but well, like other stuff where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make another remake of Annie. This is like our, what is it, seventh remake or something of Annie over a course of less than 100 years. Cool. There's my own rendition of Annie. Annie's gonna be in the Master Chief suit and everything. They're gonna go around. He's gonna free all the orphans so they won't be in the Spartan program. And then Master Chief is gonna go out and save the day and take out the bad guys because they work for the Covenant. I don't know. That'd be pretty absurd. I don't know. Anything can happen with Hollywood these days. Anyways, we didn't get a great high score because I think it's just one of those runs where it's like, you know, people rush it and they can get good stuff and not get as much of a damage penalty as I did, but, you know, it's whatever. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.